My name is Adam Denney. This is my first YouTube video, so I'm a little nervous. To begin, my birthday is June 14th, 1984. I was born in Mount Holly, New Jersey, where I grew up and completed all of my education. My father's name is Richard Denney. My mother's name is Pauline. I have three brothers, Matthew, Richard, and Jacob. Richard being the oldest. He graduated from East Carolina University in the theater program, and he's the manager of a theater in New York City called The Public. My brother Matthew is a graduate of Rowan University from New Jersey, as well as the University of Sciences Philadelphia, where he completed his occupational therapy degree. He is a licensed occupational therapist here in North Carolina and does his work here in Pitt County. My youngest brother Jacob is also a graduate of East Carolina University, and he did his degree in physical education. He's currently working towards getting accepted into the adapted physical education program. While he does that, he works as a teacher assistant here in Pitt County. He works at the Autism Society of North Carolina. He is a U13 assistant coach, and he also does refereeing for Pitt County for future stars. So that's my family. A little bit about myself. I also finished my degree here at East Carolina University in May in special education adapted curriculum. It was very exciting because it was a long journey. And interests. As I've gotten a little older, I don't have as many interests or hobbies as I was when I was younger. I still enjoy soccer. Love to watch the football games here at East Carolina University, baseball, all those things involved at the university. Regards to some of my educational things, goals, one of the proudest things I've done was the Volunteer and Service Learning Center Association, where I was required for over a year. Not required, it was voluntary, but it was something that I applied for and was chosen to do for that position. But for over a year I worked directly with a professor in the psychology department, where I had 600 students between 2 semesters, and I did reflective processes within the classroom, blogs, grading, and things like that. It was very strenuous, but the positives that came out of it were just bar none compared to the things that I've done to this point, and it was something I was very, very proud of. I know we're supposed to go into some of the things that brought us here into the master's program for counseling and education. I have really 2 stories that come to mind as I go through this video. The first one was when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do education-wise for my undergraduate. I took some time off because financially it just didn't make any sense to me. My family's only has one rule when it comes to that if you're living at home, and that is either you're working full-time or you go to school full-time. At that point, I just wasn't sure that I wanted to go to school full-time, and I was going part-time here and there, but I needed to get employment. Well, my mother, who worked for 15 years at a special services school district in New Jersey, told me that I should look into it. It's something that would be a positive. It's full-time, and naturally at the time it was benefits, so it was a paycheck. But that turned into kind of the passion that brought me back to East Carolina. It's something that changed my life, being in a school with students with mild to severe disabilities, a variety of different disabilities. It's something that I don't think I ever thought I would be that passionate about, but it is something that turned into just a lifelong project with education and everything that I'm involved in. I also currently work at the Autism Society, and it's something that I've done as a job for almost 7 years, not including my education. But it was during that time when I was going back to get school, to finish my school, to finish my education as part-time, because the school allowed me to do that I had an advisor who kind of said to me that education might not be something I should continue. It's just looking at my grades, it was something that she felt that just wasn't necessarily the right path for me. And at first it was discouraging, and at first it was just kind of heartbreaking walking out being told that. But then it really turned into something that was a tool for me to motivate myself, because I knew I could do it. Now, I realize that this isn't necessarily directly connected to counseling, But it was still something that really changed me, considering the path that I want to take in higher education. So I've always wanted to be in that opposite side. I've always wanted to be in that position where, I have a student who comes in and maybe struggling, whether it be personal or educational or financial, and provide a deeper response than just maybe it's just not for you, and have the skills and the abilities to do that, and be that support for that student. The second story actually occurred during my clinical work, or my senior practicum. I was at a school here in Pitt County, and there was a student who was transitioning into high school, and she was having a difficult time, 8th grade to high school, and she was a student in the autistic spectrum, and she was just having a lot of problems with her, being able to get to classes, the stress, the workload, and at the time they're just, the person who they called was my teacher, my clinical teacher, and it caught me off guard because I was wondering why a counselor wasn't going to directly work with the student. Again, I don't want to say that the counselor wasn't equipped, but it was surprising to me that a teacher was brought in instead of the counselor. So with that, I kind of decided that looking at higher education is where I wanted to go, that with the background in special education, receiving a master's, when I complete my master's in counseling, that I would be able to provide the entire gambit of students who are currently going to be enrolled in higher education. I know that the growth of special education students with disabilities is rising at universities, and I want to be able to give them, again, that support. I want to be able to be there and have that ability and that background to be there as a person that provides them the opportunity to succeed, as well as any student who may come in whatever realm I end up with in counseling itself at a higher education level. So those were two main stories that brought me here, that brought me to this master's program, and I can't say how grateful I am, and I won't lie, I'm proud of myself to be here and be doing things like this. So it was very nice to meet all of you, and look forward to the rest of the school year. Thank you.